Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on today's video and welcome to my channel. In today's story, OP reaches out to Reddit for relationship advice on how she can fix her relationship with her estranged husband. Essentially, there was a huge misunderstanding caused by a horrific neighbor, and because of that, OP and her husband have separated, but she really regrets this and she wants to get back together with him. And this is the story. It doesn't necessarily have a happy ending, but I do wish the best for both Hopi and her husband. I do hope that you enjoy this story. If you do, please leave a thumbs up. And before I move on to the story, I just wanted to take a second and thank all of my subscribers. Thank you so much, you guys are the best. For those that are new here, if you like my content and would like to support me, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button. Anyways, thank you so much for your time and on to the story. Rekindle relationship with my husband after neighbor's husband admitted being the catfish. Hello everyone. My husband, a 35-year-old male, and I, a 30-year-old female, have been separated for the last 14 months, and I need help and advice on how to rekindle our relationship. We've been married for 8 years. Currently, we're not on speaking terms and all of our arrangements go through our lawyers. However, I will have an opportunity over Christmas to clear the air and set things straight, as he's flying in from Sydney to spend time with the kids. So, what happened? In September last year, I received a Facebook message that my husband was talking and exchanging intimate photos with other women on Tinder. We spoke on the phone and the only proof that she had was a screenshot of their conversation and his profile. Long story short, I downloaded Tinder and found his profile with his location less than 1 kilometer away. I was convinced that he was cheating and we had a terrible fallout that evening. My family came over to calm the situation, but instead it escalated when my brother punched and grabbed a hold of my husband. The neighbors called the police and my husband was asked to pack a few things and stay elsewhere for a while. We separated shortly after and he has since moved to Sydney to be closer to his ailing father, but sees our kids for a weekend twice a month. Fast forward to the beginning of November this year, my neighbor showed up at my doorstep to tell me that her husband was catfishing women on dating apps using my husband's photos. He downloaded these photos from a MacBook that we had lent him during COVID, and some of these photos were of an intimate nature, and of me. The police are currently dealing with this. All of this has been relayed to my husband through his lawyer, but his response has been lukewarm. He said that we could talk about it over Christmas. I am so scared that we might be too far down the rabbit hole, and that he will likely push for a divorce, even though I know that we love each other very deeply. However, this took a massive toll on our mental health, finances, and well-being of our 3 kids. What's the best way to approach him in December and make amends? Too long didn't read? My neighbor used my husband's photos to catfish women on Tinder for intimate photos. I thought he was cheating and we separated. The police are investigating, and I want to rekindle and make amends with my husband. One Redditor said, "Wow, what a mess. I'm glad that the police are involved in what the neighbor did. As for you and your husband, a lot depends on 2 things. How much you both still love each other, and how difficult it is for you both to have a truly serious, heart-wrenching, emotionally exhausting conversation. His logical side would likely understand why you thought it was true. After all, there were pictures. It would be easy to believe it was true. But his emotional side is going to be deeply hurt that you didn't believe him over the quote-unquote evidence. All you can do is sit down and try to work through it. Good luck to you." To which OP replied, "Thank you. I thought having a therapist present might help, but I have doubts and I think that it is better not to involve others. The aftermath was devastating for the both of us, and more so for him when his friends and my family wrote him off. I still love him and have never stopped, but I know that it will be on his terms if he's willing to give it another chance. I'm willing to do whatever it takes." To which another Redditor replied, "So what have you done to make amends and clear his name? Have you notified his friends and family that he was falsely accused and had been faithful the entire time? Have your family apologized? Have his friends reached out and apologized? Take a look at the definitions of regret that this happened versus remorse for the pain that you caused him. I don't hear or feel remorse in your words, and I don't see remorse in your actions." Another Redditor said, "Your husband experienced something that you will never understand. A false accusation, an assault from your brother, spousal alienation, no right of recourse against the false accusation, a complete lack of loyalty from his wife, a complete lack of respect from his wife, the loss of the life that he had from a false allegation, parental alienation from his children, familial alienation from his in-laws, alienation from friends, and the police were called and he had to leave. You separated from him. Your husband has already completed his grieving process. You asked if you're too far down the rabbit hole. Yes, I am afraid that there's no going back for you. You chose not to listen to him when he said that it was not him." To which another Redditor replied, "I agree. I don't think that there's a coming back from that. I understand that you had reasons to believe that he might be cheating, but it seems that he had no chance to defend himself, and getting your family involved made everything worse. He was punched and was told to leave his home by the police. He has been living away from his kids for the past 14 months and has been treated as a villain by friends. You say you love him, but I don't think love could erase everything you two have been through and rebuild trust." Hello everyone. I've had quite a few people ask for an update on what happened after we discovered that my neighbor was using my ex's photos to catfish other women. Unfortunately, after having sat down and discussed things, it was decided that our marriage was beyond repair and that we should go our separate ways. He's currently in therapy and has requested that we have a clean break with no further contact in the future. I intend to respect his wishes and will continue to communicate through his lawyers on matters that concern our kids. I have since cleared the air with our families and friends and still actively work towards repairing his reputation. I would also like to clarify the assault and why my parents came over in the first place. The night of the argument, I called my mother to ask if I could drop off our kids and if they could spend the evening there, but she was concerned about my emotional state and asked that I stay put and that they would come fetch the kids instead. They arrived, and my brother opted to stay outside while my parents came inside to grab the kids and their bags. At this point, my father asked to talk to my ex and calm the situation, and my mum dragged me away to get the kids and their bags ready. My brother was very confused when we came outside and was triggered by my mum saying that my ex might have cheated. My brother reacted the moment my ex walked out and grabbed my arm. This was in a non-violent way, by the way. This led to my brother punching him and a scuffle on the front lawn. He was remorseful and apologized even before we found out my ex was not to blame. It is a series of unfortunate events that has changed many lives and robbed my family of our love and happiness. Now I have to focus on my kids, my depression, and coming to terms with the divorce. I will never forget, but hopefully the pain won't be as intense. So guys, what did you think about this? Honestly, I feel like a whole new fear has been unlocked. Like, why are people like this? What on earth was the neighbor thinking? And I really hope that the police are able to prosecute the neighbor because this is such a horrific thing to do. And I just feel so bad for the husband. And one of the comments really listed out just a fraction of what OP's husband probably went through. And I cannot imagine going through something similar. Poor guy. I do hope that he's healing from this, and I hope that he's able to move on, but I do respect his decision to not get back together with OP. What do you guys think? Would you have done anything different? I understand that the subject of cheating can be very sensitive to a lot of people. I mean, I'm sure it is to me if it's regarding somebody that I care a lot about. And I don't know how we'll react, but I think proper communication in a non-violent and non-aggressively emotional way is the way forward. And this has to be centered around your values. I know it's very vague, but I really think that's the way forward. Anyways, what did you guys think? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you did like this, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the like button. And please subscribe if you'd like to hear more stories from Reddit with updates.